You have 60 seconds to say goodbye.
Hey guys, what's up? So this episode we're going to talk about the M in USMA, or the United States Military Academy, which is military. And one of the frequent questions that I often get is, what type of training do we do? So we have like what I would say is two main training periods, and that's one in the summer. So in the summertime, that's when we have our cadet basic training, that's when we have our cadet field training, that's when we have our cadet leadership development training, and that's just when we have all these different things going on. If you don't know West Point, but if you like look at it on a map, West Point has a lot of land, and that land is allocated to us for the summertime and for whenever we want to do any like good training and real training out in the field. We've got multiple ranges, we've got multiple mountains. You will go up and down multiple times. It's a lot. I tell you, like, I'm from DC, there's a few hills, Capitol Hill, and that's about it. And then you get here, and then you've got multiple mountains. You got Long Mountain, Brook Mountain, like just mountains. It's gonna hurt, especially if you've never done it before. And if you're coming from states with lower altitudes, you're gonna feel the pain. So I fully understand that. But during the summertime, that's when we have a lot of our structured training. So that means that it's the institution, the academy, that's putting on the training. So a lot of times we'll have active duty units that are allocated to us to run and facilitate our trainings, to make sure it's realistic, to make sure that we're getting the most up-to-date knowledge and everything like that. And last year we had the 101st Airborne Division. They were running our training. The year before that we had the 10th Mountain Division running our training, and we augment some things with National Guard services throughout the country, just to get them their time that they need for their service commitment, and also to give us some good training and tips and tricks and things like that. And then once you transition over into the academic year, which is typically after what's called Acceptance Day or A-Day, which is in early October, that's when we start what's called AC weekends. So it's called a Commandant weekend. So the Commandant here is in charge of all military training. Commandant's weekends might be 6 to 8 times a semester, which is a lot of weekends, and the range of activities that you can do within that training varies. You can go from having a brief on sexual assault, harassment, and prevention, driver's training. You can do room clearing, you can do rappelling, you can do a ruck march, you could just do PT and then nothing else. So this past weekend, what we did was, my company, we rucked 5 miles, so that's with our full pack on and everything like that. Kept it at like 35 to like 45 pounds. And we marched from our barracks here 5 miles to what's called Range 2, and Range 2 is where we do our artillery and like call for fire training. We're gonna put on our artillery hat right here. Boom, boom, 2 cannons. So our artillery training is conducted during our yuck year. So that's when you transition from a plebe to a sophomore. And that yuck year is when you get to go out on the gun line. It's loud. It's glorious. It's thinking about it, it's great. So we went there to do what's called call for fire training, and call for fire training is basically a simulator, computer ran. You will put like a map up on not a PowerPoint, but a slide, and basically you'll look through some binoculars and you'll see the terrain that's on the map that's depicted, that you have. For us, we were using the Fort Sill map because that's where the trainer is kind of like centered on and located. And basically what you do is you find your position, or the OP, and you look down and you like plot it on a map and everything like that. And then once you know your location, then the instructors will give you locations of tanks or enemy troops or bunkers and things like that on the map, and then be like, that's there. And it'll just be on a road next to a curve. So then you have to look at your map, you have to find that curve in the road, you have to find that grid coordinate, you have to find the distance to it, and you have to find the direction from where you are.
Affirm for R1.
Okay, disregard altitude restriction.
AC weekend has definitely changed, because my plebe year, AC weekend training was like 3 weekends back to back to back of like driver safety. And I don't know if you've ever driven a Humvee, but like driving a Humvee is not that hard. You don't need 3 weekends of back to back to back just driver safety training. I've seen, you know, cadets doing rappelling training and stuff like that, getting ready for air assault school. I've seen cadets doing runs, getting ready for airborne school. And for our company this weekend, we did call for fire training, getting the plebes ready for cadet field training, which is their second summer block of training, which is about 4 weeks. And then also getting all the lieutenants or firsties that are about to go field artillery, you know, confident and a little ready, and get them some training reps with the call for fire trainer, because that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm going to go do. So the military training happens. It's not every weekend. It's probably, I would say, every other weekend, every 2 weekends. And when it happens, it's up to the company, and it's really up to the cadets on what we want to do. And the TACs have kind of like stepped back, and the institution has kind of stepped back, and they're like, look, we're trying to make this a cadet-run institution. So if this company wants to really go out and do a full patrol of our training area, they can. But throughout this entire show or vlog, you know, I've linked some videos and things like that of the type of training that we do here, and then I've also taken some video of myself from our past weekend's training. So if you have any more questions on what type of military training you can get here, whether that be through like the summertime, or whether it be like schools that you can apply for and go to, whether that's like sapper, combat dive, anything, let me know. I know people who went to those schools. I can like get you the answers for that, and if I can't, I'll make up the answers, and they'll probably get enough. So alright, salute, we're out, have a good day.